Well, a very warm welcome to you all and a welcome back. So a different intro than I normally do, but this is a loud update and obviously the final part of the underground. Obviously some bits will follow. So I needed some brainstorming and a trip to London. Well, finally made it into London today, so jumped on the train from Ascot, and so here in down by Waterloo. Having a wander around London in true cheekytek style, so I thought I'd check out the London Eye because it's here, and then we're going to grab the Bakerloo line right through to Baker Street. So we're going to carry on, have a little walk round and catch you through the video. So as we rattle along the old tube, it's great going down the old underground stations, but you forget how noisy these things are. So we'll walk speed and slam the brakes on. Here we are. So we arrive at my favourite destination, which of course is Baker Street. It's nice because it's nice and empty today, not many people around. Good shot of the old S-stock passing past each other, so nice clear look. Now today I just want to get some ideas of infrastructure, clearance, trains, people, oh hello, she's running away obviously. One of my many not followers. So yeah, it's nice to see, it's nice and clear, so it's nice to see this, and obviously the brickwork above the stations there. Of course we arrive in our historic Baker Street, and you can see all this lovely architecture. So let's just have a quick look, a wander around and see what we find. Yeah, so that's our Baker Street, and we've got a mini version of it. I think I might need to upgrade the lights to a little bit brighter, but I think all in all, I'm quite happy with the results. So back on the rattle train, warp speed, slam the brakes on driver, and we arrive at my top underground station, which has to be my old stomping ground, Harrow on the Hill. Many memories here, many memories. So quick pan around the station, and it's really nice to see a completely empty station, apart from a man in a red coat there that I didn't spot. Yeah, and then a little catch up with a couple of the old S stock on the other side. Would have been nice to have the old A60 stock. Here we are at Harrow on the Hill. Lovely shot. Oh, hello, she's back again, my stalker. So it's hopped back onto the old rattle can, run through a few million stations, and finally get off at North Acton. Now, North Acton is another one of my favourite hotspots because it is at the back of Old Oak, and obviously Nan and Grandad used to live here. So a little wander around, have a look at the old houses they used to live in, pop to Sainsbury's and get a nice couple of cookies because they're nice and just behind the station there, and then it's off to Acton Museum for some more inspiration. So of course I spent the day with Susanna at the Acton Museum. We were lucky enough to get the last 2 tickets of this specialised tour. So it was a great day out and lots of memories and lots of pictures of me, of course. So thanks to Acton Museum and Susanna, it's time to get the squeaky train home and start some building. Right, so as we got back from London, it was planning what to build, how I'm going to build it, I knew I was going to go for an A60 stock, this kind of train. So this was really my iconic image, and that's why I opted for this kind of style. It's not 100%, but prototypically it's not far off in a scale model. The end date is just a scratch build kit. Now I've cut this on the Cricut machine, as you saw, and the Cricut machine gives you the ability to do a mirror image, so you can do your front panel and your back panel, and you can swap them over quite easily, or your two sides, and swap them over. That then gives you the precise cutting. I cut through the windows 30 to 35 times, something like that. So you have to cheat the software to not be plastic, to do it to, I think you set it to leather or something like that, and then you change the pressure that it puts down. You've got to keep an eye on it, but it's a test run, and I tested it on a few bits, and that gave me a nice deep cut. Enough to pop the windows out, and then obviously while I had it in there, I set it to a score with literally just about 10 cuts on the door bits and the windows. So it gave me a scoring around the doors without actually going through. So that was another nice little cheat that I've worked out. The roof section is not an A60 roof. This is from a Mark 1 Lima coach, which comes as a roof section and two window glazings that come either side that are moulded in one, and the roof is just painted grey. So using these windows, that made me a nice key to put the plastic to bond on, because once you use that rocket glue stuff, or the card, that plastic glue, Plastic Magic I think I used, it sticks really well with the two plastics. It's a liquid glue, and that's given me good stability and a rigid body shell. So that really is the body shell, and that is shaped to the chassis that it fits. Now the chassis that actually goes on, and you might recognise it, it is a Class 108 DMU. I think I have mentioned this in the past. Now the reason why I chose the 108 DMU is it's the shorter of many chassis on a Bachmann two-car unit. The other ones are a little bit longer in different guises, so this was one of the shorter, giving me the electrics at the back there for a decoder, and the lighting to in the roof and the front. And so this really was my choice of chassis for this project. So I had to source an eBay scrap. One was a bit of a wrecker, and use this as its donor. Yes, it's got some of the fuel tanks and things like that, but once you've got the body shell on, and that's trundling backwards and forwards, you don't really see the guffins underneath. It just creates shadows. To be honest with you, I don't really want to take them all off in case I do tend to use the body in future. So it'll be a bit silly to wreck that unless I completely make a new 3D resin chassis. So the only other part I had to make was this bit, and again these are made on the Cricut machine. So I've made these very small little bits there, and I've just glued them between the chassis of the wheels, and I've done that on all sides. They came out really well. So I was quite pleased with that, and they were quite solid in there. They just super glued in place, and they give that pickup look that was needed for an electric vehicle. So the chassis is not attached in any way, it just is a push fit, and that gave me all the flexibility to do what I need to do and to remove the body quite easily. So again, to get it on, you just ease it into shape and then just push it down over the front there. Now it's got these little side bits there, and they will guide me to how far it goes down. It needs to go down that bit a bit. I'll do that in a minute. So that that's it, it's in now. So that's how it all fits, and then that gives me the overall look of our A60 stock, which I know it's not prototypically shaped, but it does the job, and once they're together they give me the tube train that I desire. So sorry for banging the camera. So all in all, I'm happy with the results. We've got a couple of trains. I've opted for 2 cars because it's a 2-car station. It's not a lot of room under the layout. South Acton and Acton Town was a shuttle service with one, possibly two cars. So that works well in the story that fits the layout. So I think what we'll do, we'll put these back onto the layout, we'll power them up, and we'll see them running between the two stations, and then you can see the work that I've put into the cars. The underground station is now actually lit. I've still got a couple more things to do, but I've added some seats and stuff. So I've made some little 3D printed seats I've put in there, and I've added some more people. I found two young ladies this morning, so I chucked them looking at the post. One seems to be leaning back. I think she had a bit too much to drink. Anyway, so yeah, I'm quite pleased the way it looked. And I based this station on Moorgate, and the reason being because Moorgate was a sort of underground station technically, and it took the larger stock trains. You can see just coming in now, I've created the larger A60 stock, and I just wanted that scenario with, you know, an end station, and it can do the loop between the two, or the shuttle between my Baker Street and what I've now called this South Acton station. I think that's South Acton, Acton Town. I think South Acton, purely because it fits with the Acton side of the layout, and otherwise the story wouldn't fit. So the underground's all running. I've got the sparks. I've now run it onto controller. You can see I've got wires hanging, but I came up with a good idea. I made these little hooks, and because I've made them out of resin, they are so light, they've got no weight in them. Okay, so let's be honest. How many of us guys have tried to put a hook underneath the layout to hold the wires, or anywhere that you just want to hold wires out the way? I'm using a model railway as an example. Now, trying to get a screw into there and then push it up to there, and you can't see what you're doing, everything's upside down, drilling holes in small spaces, it is all a nightmare. Forget about the screws. I've come up with a solution. I've created these little hooks, and I've done it so there's two very small holes in the underneath of the hook itself. The idea being that they act as a keystone to glue the hook, the resin hook, straight to the surface. Now, being so lightweight, and I've modified these to be a very lightweight design, these will attach quite simply to the bottom of your wood or your area. I'm not going to touch that anymore. Let them dry. Now, this glue takes about 20 minutes to harden. It's in contact within 3 minutes. So I'm going to let them set, because then I know they're dry, and I can just hang up quite nicely like that, and they'll be out of the way. So I'm going to let that one set, but that one I did actually done that about 10 minutes ago, and you can see holds all the wires out of the way. No silly screws, no trying to drill, just glue them up with a bit of gel glue, and bush, you're done. I'd like to say a big thank you to one of my subscribers, Tony. He sent me
This is Tony. He recently sent me through the post, sent me a message on email, and said he had a broken controller and was I interested in it, could I make use of it. So really appreciate I got a spare handset, which means that I know I can run 2 or 3 trains on one handset, but I can actually have a bit more clarity now, so it's nice to sort of break up the numbers and literally put my hand on a train and without trying to dig through the numbers. So that will come really handy, so thank you Tony for all the bits you sent. I'm sure I'll make use of them along the way, so yeah, thank you, I really appreciate that. And you know, if you want some bits, as I said, more than happy to help you out there. So that's really what I've got. So let's have a little look around the layout, bit of running session, and some of the work that I did over there, and get through the video. Let's crack on.
Well, I think I've changed this corner layout so many times, it's unbelievable. But I've 3D printed some steps and I've got an idea. So I think the idea is the bus can pull into there, drop the passengers off, and then they can go down the steps. And if I have the steps around about there, it's just in line with the platform underneath, and that sort of fits the story. So I've got these little flagpole to go on top, and that should sort of suit it off. And then I've got to put some fence around the steps itself as well, so I've got to add all that. So I think what we're going to do is clear this area, and what I've got in mind is more of a less instead of what I've got there now. So probably just a grassy area, some sort of foliage, bushes or something like that, just to sort of make it look not so detailed, and therefore I think it gives more of an eye catch, being more of an area. It's the sort of thing you would see in an area like this, more of a wasteland, and I've got the little gate there going up to the bridge, so that would work well. So I'll clear all this section out, I'll rip out all the bits that I need.
So finally cut a hole into this area here, just using this is a template upside down and then cutting a bit more. I've just printed that off the 3D printer as I mentioned, and I can put the steps either way really, but this is what you can see, it goes down under the baseboard, but the idea will go that way. So when the passengers arrive, we'll go in. There we go. When the passengers arrive here, like so, the bus can have a pull in little terminus, bit of a sharp turn, but a bus will make it, and then we'll have our underground sign going on top there, and then we'll deck all this in. So that's the idea, have a little path into there. That'll work, I think. So yeah, just going to finish this off, make some pavements to go around here, and you can go down under the underground, down to there, to the station.
So right, I think what we'll do, we'll carry on, paint this area, and I think we're going to warp speed this Everard style. Right, so it's time to have a look what else has been upgraded on the layout. Now, if you look at Baker Street Station, yes, you can see we've got some musicians, and they were crying out for musicians. And I've got this little couple there holding hands, or holding arms, so it's quite nice to have these couples as opposed to single people. You can see there all the guitar cases, the amp, all that kind of thing. I've made them myself, but I bought the figures and I've painted them up. And if I just grab the couple there, put them on the station, you can see it's Fred at Willoughby Castle's actually been giving me lots of tips on how to paint things, so thanks Fred. And I actually quite enjoyed doing this, and I've done all the denim work and that. I'll put a picture on the screen, it's actually better than showing a video, but I've done all the detailing as much as I can, and I've learned a lot, and I've come a long way in my modelling, and I really enjoyed painting them. That was quite nice to do. So new figures, and I will add some more, and probably more of these kind of real people that have been modelled. There is a couple right down the bottom of the station there, having a little kiss down the bottom there, right by the steps, and I think that's a nice little scene. It's nice to have couples as opposed to just single people all around, so it's nice to get that sort of setting. Again, I've just created a little guitar case, done some more of them little things. It's nice to have little features that you don't normally see. And again, I'd like to add some of them into the coaches, that kind of thing, so you sort of see a driver and a passenger and a guitar case, trumpet or whatever. I've added some new bins. Again, I've made these up myself. So they've got the NSE on, because obviously it suits my NSE. I've got some yellow bins around, black bins. I've done all different colours, the green, the blues. I've done the wall mounted ones. Again, they're a nice little touch. You don't see many of them around, so again, I've got stock of them, so I can do them at my leisure. So it's nice to add them. Nothing's changed on the platforms. It's pretty much as it is. I've got the lights off on this, so you can see a lot anyway. The other thing that I'm upgrading is the infrastructure, which is all the point motors, the greaser you can see there, the point heaters that I've been making there. So all this infrastructure, I've made lots of it, but it all is pretty much in the wrong place because they don't quite line up. I've noticed since I've been making relay boxes, and I've been looking at point work and AWS ramps, that kind of thing. You would normally have an AWS ramp sitting pretty much in line with your relay boxes. That's pretty much where it would be, really, if I'm honest. So my infrastructure's, it's got lots of it, but it's just not quite correct. So for me, it's about realigning, doing a bit of history, making sure that's a better look than that. Using the eyes in the camera there, having that it just looks messy. So we're having that in line with the relay box. Again, that creates a sharper look. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go around. I'm going to change a lot of these point motors. I've got some of the old style. These were the old BR ones that I created. Again, these were unreliable in their time, but there was a lot of them around. And there's the hand crank ones that you could crank over the point yourself. So these are quite an older style. So there's these things I'm adding. I've got another one there. I'm going to add a selection of different stuff. I've got catch pits, all them sort of things I'm adding to the track. I won't be adding them to this point of the track just yet, because I'm actually going to take out this slip here. I'm going to actually put an express point in here and take that bit there over here. I'm going to take out. I'm pointing, my fingers are refocusing. So this will probably come out. I don't really use it. It's a bit unnecessary. There seems to be some sort of raised derailment here very now and again on some stock. So this is an ideal time to actually redo this and do this whole section bit. Whether I cut through, make a line across so I can take it down individually, that may be something I will do. So that's pretty much the track work, and the work that I'm going to do with the track itself just here in a very short time. The other thing that I'm going to update, and this won't be on this video and probably in a video to come very soon, is I want to upgrade the whole of this depot. This was something I first started a little while ago. So this will be, I want to do a complete makeover on the same design, but with modern materials, lots of new vents, that kind of thing. I really want to go to town on this. air ducting, that kind of thing, sockets and compressors, all that kind of thing. So really would like to go to town. This is what started the layout really, so this really needs a good revisit. I'd like to really go to town and get more of an old oak common sort of feel on this. So that's what's coming up. And again, I will then upgrade this oil tank depot. This really needs an update. It was a bit pants, if I'm honest. So I really want to put some pipe work and really go to town on this. So this section here I really want to bring up to scratch now. I'm really quite excited to do this sort of area. So yeah, I think that'd be quite good really to revisit and bring up to speed to suit the rest of the layout. And that's what the layout's all about really. It's all about revisiting, learning new things, and catching up where you left off. So that's that. We've got the depot, the oil depot, some tidying up in the station that will happen at some point, and then the express point will go into here, and then obviously the track work. There's a lot of all this infrastructure that needs to be added and changed. Been adding catch pits, that kind of thing. I do like the look of them. They would probably have had the grill in my era, but I have got some I've made up, so I will add some of them. But I do like the blue sort of look. It's just a real catchy, through the trees you see that catch pictures. I do like that. So that's really that. This depot again will have an upgrade pretty much after the other one, and that was good at its time, but I think these now need a revisit. The heat's actually swollen the roof out. It's like a Dutch barn, so that needs to be done, and I probably will just tidy up around this area. So in layman's terms, there is some work to be done. Again, the infrastructure this side and the railing there I'd like to redo again at a very later date. So there's always little bits to do, but I think the layout's there's plenty there to keep me going, especially in the years to come. So there's plenty to tick me over. So we come to the end of my video of all the bits I've been doing. We started off with a journey to London, having a bit of a brain fart. I needed that inspiration, that smell of London, the noise, the noise. Them tube trains are so noisy, but it's the memories, you know. It's however you look at it, it's the smell, the memories. So that's what we live on, a memory palace, and this is what the layout is all about really. It is a memory palace. So for me to visit these places and look at the architectures, which is what I'm doing more, so I'm going out and looking at stuff, and then I'm looking at what I'm modelling, and then sometimes I think even I get it wrong by putting the something in the wrong place, or you know, I look at the building and look at how it supports. So it's nice that I'm actually bringing my eye to what's in life, especially as old as I am. So I'm learning lots of things, as they say. So yeah, I've got lots more work to do on the layout. I've got obviously the track work that I want to do. That would be the next thing I want to change, the points, and then I'm going to change the infrastructure around, which is all the little tiny point motors and all that kind of thing. Make sure they fit in line with the relay boxes and they've got the story and it tells. So there's a lot of research for me there, and that will be another video. I've also got the depot. I want to upgrade that at some point, and obviously the oil depot this side.
So these are the two things that I really would like to bring back, and I really want to go to town with them. So when you look at it, you sort of see, wow, what's this layout about? And that's really what I really want to put more detail, see what you guys are doing with detail, and I'm like, wow, I'm just blown away with it. So I want to do the same, and I think these are great sort of things to do it with, because the layout pretty much sits where it is now. Obviously I've got to create breaks in it so I can take it down, but obviously it's not going anywhere, but it's just got to come down, so I've got to put breaks into it, so I can add these at that same point. So yeah, lots of work, lots of things to do, as always, lots of maintenance. So until next time, I'm going to carry on beavering away with what I'm doing, my little projects and stuff, and I'm sure that I'll catch you at exhibitions. I'm normally there for a couple of days at some of these exhibitions, so it's nice to catch up with you all, because you stick with me, and you're all a great bunch, and however you look at it. So that sounded wrong when I said great brunch. You're all a great bunch of people, so I love to spend time and hearing your stories. So for me to give back and spend a couple of days with you guys at exhibitions, it's really good. So hopefully we'll catch you there and then anyway. Look after yourselves. Thanks everyone for subscribing, commenting, and taking the time to watch the videos and the rest. It really means a lot. Look after yourselves, and I'm sure I'll catch you all very soon. Look after yourselves, guys. Cheerio. Bye.